Marriage was about love and building a life together, but these days some modern women treat it more like a financial deal. Today, we're watching what happens when those greedy intentions end up showing up and surfacing and men decide to stand up for themselves. So subscribe, let's get into it. This video is for entertainment purposes only. No offense or disrespect is intended towards any individual or group. I'm scared a little bit of a prenup because somewhere down the line, she knows that she might want half of his, everything. There's really a never good time to talk about that, but for some people, it needs to happen.
Doesn't matter whose name it is under. All that matters is that we're divorced and this house which I've paid for isn't for you.
Well, you haven't paid for it if it's not under your name, no?
Well, no, it doesn't matter whose name it is for.
Well, it does, because we were together.
Okay, well, I bought this house as a gift for my mum.
Well, why are we living in it then?
Because it doesn't matter.
Well, it does, because if we divorced...
Well, no, yeah, we're not living in it anymore, are we? Well, I am.
So how long are you going to keep that a surprise for then?
It doesn't matter. You didn't pay a single penny for the house.
I contributed my fair share to this place.
How did you?
Cooking, cleaning, one less thing for you to do.
Oh, well, congratulations.
That was the
you can cook and
agreement.
clean somewhere else. Look, you divorced me, okay, yeah? You have no right to this house. I knew that this was going to come because since we first got married or whatever, that's all you're interested in. You're only interested in the financial side of stuff. And then when shit hits the fan, things start to go a bit low, you call for a divorce. Cool, I'll let you have that divorce.
No.
But when I bought this house, I put this house in my mum's name. I bought this house as a gift for my mum.
So you had no right to lie to me about it.
I didn't lie to you. Didn't lie to you at all.
You said that you bought the
We
house.
lived in the house. Yeah, I did buy the house. I bought the house.
So why did you not tell me when you bought the house?
I didn't need
Under your
to
name?
because it wasn't your business.
But we were together. We were married.
Well, we're not now. We're not now. You divorced me, and it's clear to see why you divorced me.
Yeah, because you're a liar.
I'm not lying, Stacey. You divorced me because that's what you was interested in. And then when business became a bit low, since COVID, you wasn't there.
Don't even
You were
bring
just
COVID
complaining.
into
You were
it.
just complaining. Oh, don't even bring COVID into it. Look, it impacted my business, and you weren't happy with it. And now, because things are becoming good again, that's when now you're back.
I'm not
And then when you found out, that after the divorce proceedings, there's nothing for you. That's why you're back, isn't it?
The biggest thing is that you lied to me for however
So
long we were
what did
married
you
for.
want? What did you expect? Do you think that you've earned a share of this house?
Absolutely.
For
I
what?
made it homely.
For what? Cooking and cleaning.
Making it homely. I made it.
You made it homely?
I made it a lovely place for us living together.
No,
And
not
I found out
really.
it's for your mum.
You've made it into a hellhole.
How? It's clean. It's laid out lovely. It's homely.
You've
it's
not
welcoming.
been here for 6 months.
Well, yeah, because you've been lying to me this whole time.
I've not been lying to you.
You told
You
me
never
bought this
asked me.
house.
Yeah, I did buy this house. You never asked me once. Is this house in your name? You never asked me that
Why do
question.
I need to ask that? If you're buying a house, you're only going to show that it's going to be bought for yourself.
No, you buy a house for your children. You buy a house for your mum.
We don't have kids.
Exactly. I'm saying if you have kids, you buy it for your kids. I'm not like you. I don't just buy it for myself,
This is irrelevant. My biggest issue is that you have lied throughout the whole time we were together.
It doesn't matter. We're not together anymore. You can go your own way into your own shared house with your parents, whilst I'll stay here in the house which I bought.
Yeah, and lie to the next person that you date.
I would advise any man who has any money put everything in his mother's name. It is a very smart idea for multiple reasons, to be honest. But for example, in this case, she had all of his hands on his husband's wealth, only to have her bubble burst in no time.
So we talked about down the road and the potential of us getting married and having kids. How do you feel about a prenup?
I mean, I have been exposed to so many women that are moms, that are married, in relationships that they're going through a divorce process and they have nothing.
Yeah.
And they're starting literally from ground zero. One of my biggest fears is, thinking you have everything and you're good and then just getting the rug pulled out from underneath you. So I never want to be in a position where that happens to me.
Yeah. Okay, so in my personal opinion, like you lived your entire life without me in it until a few weeks ago. Like coming into it, you should keep whatever you've built, and I should keep whatever I built. And then once we start together on a journey of marriage and down that path, then we split everything 50-50.
Yeah,
But I do think a prenup is necessary for the both of us.
Yeah. I just hear so much regret and they wish they could have done something differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Talking about divorce already feels so unnatural. I don't want to talk about that. It makes me realize that we really have been living in a bubble, and in reality, we kind of really just met.
I just don't even I don't know.
The hesitation here just doesn't really make any sense. I mean, you keep what you came with and split what you built together. It kind of sounds like a win-win, right? Unless you didn't come with anything and can't build anything together, then maybe I see what you mean.
I don't mind signing a prenup as long as it has an infidelity clause. If you get caught cheating, I get whatever the I want. The only thing I'm asking by giving you my everything is for you to reciprocate that. But in the same token, if you find out I'm cheating on you, you don't owe me.
So if she cheats, he gets nothing. But if she cheats, she gets everything. There's definitely some sort of joke there because the math is definitely not mathing here. It's surprising she said all that with a straight face.
And the funny thing is, we're literally stealing money from the men, because what'll happen is women will whine. A small percent of men will say, all right, fine, let's give the women what they want. Let's take a little bit of the money from the men and give it to the women. And I guess the men are making so much money that they're not really paying attention. But honestly, if I was a man, I'd be pissed off. I'd be pissed off that women keep taking the money that they earn to fund our leagues, to fund jobs that we don't need. And in return, instead of being thankful, they become man-hating feminists who whine and complain.
That's the exact problem with the system that we're dealing with today, is that a person can't get everything they need for the significant other, but once greed takes over, it ruins everything. You know, not even a loyal partner stands a chance.
When we got married, I was the girl that was like, I'm not signing a prenup. Because I'm marrying you till death do us part. I come from a legacy of women who stand by their men no matter what, so you don't have to worry about me. And I'm not signing a prenup, because to me, contracts are real. So if you're writing a if this happens, you're basically saying that's going to happen. Yeah. And so I see how now in hindsight, I am such an advocate of prenups, because marriage at the end of the day is a business. Because at the end of the day, we are all individual souls. Let's stop with the literalness that something is gonna last forever. Nothing lasts forever. So even, I heard this once, that even marriages where the two people are married forever, that marriage is gonna look 3 to 5 different ways over time.
She's marrying him, planning to spend a life together and being there for each other in the bad times and the good. That's great. If the money and resources run out though, what do you think's gonna happen then?
What prenup demand instantly led to a couple breaking up?
I had a young guy in finance in his late 20s, good net worth for that age, maybe like 2-3 million. First of all, her lawyer called me, and he's someone I've dealt with before. And he said, I just want you to know this list isn't coming from me. We're off to a bad start. And he said, yeah, you're going to want to put me on mute so you can laugh out loud. Like, she wanted a personal monthly allowance for cosmetic procedures like Botox and lashes and hair and nails. And she wanted a certain number of vacations per year that had to be a certain level. Flights either had to be private or first class. If she got pregnant, she'd get a push present for each baby. Jewelry, it had to be like a minimum value of $100,000. She was basically like saying, you have to maintain this incredibly high level of providing for me. So I called him and I said, all right, you know, I spoke to her lawyer and she has what I would call a fairly ambitious list of demands. He goes, all right, let me hear it. And I maybe got through the first 3 and he went, yeah, no, it's not happening. It's no problem. I just won't even marry her if that's what she wants.
That's a smart guy right there who definitely realizes what he might get himself into. This list sounds more like a transactional relationship over a loving one. And I'm pretty sure he never looked in her direction ever again.
Do you ever plan on cheating on me?
Absolutely not, no.
Do you ever plan on divorcing me?
No.
Okay, well, this right here doesn't matter. All this means is that if you go back on your word of what you just said to me, that's the only reason why this right here will take an effect.
Does this prenup have any silent party influence?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Because I feel like your ex, she mentioned the prenup. Too many hands in the broth is the saying that we say in Trinidad. When too many hands in the broth, it spoils the entire thing. So now it's like looking at me as if I have some secret agenda. Try to take what Bilal has.
First of all, that has absolutely nothing to do with anything in relation to. Well, you asked me a question. Can I answer your question? That has absolutely nothing to do with anything whatsoever. But I also know that I have 2 children that I also have to protect as well. And I can't just say, oh, well, let me just have a blind eye at love. Well, that wouldn't be smart.
Can you see how I give up everything?
My love, my Bellacita.
Do you see where I'm coming from when I say that?
I get it. I know this is not the sexiest conversation to have, but I know it's a conversation that is needed. This right here is something that it just says that you won't take me for everything I got. I mean, it's just literally, just see it from that standpoint.
I feel as if Bella doesn't trust me. I know that when he got married, he was thinking like me, like it's going to be forever, and his wife left him. So I think he has some trust issues, and I feel like I have to pay the price for everything that has happened to him in his past. I want to show the prenup to a lawyer. I'm not going to sign a document that does not give me certain rights.
There shouldn't be a problem signing a prenup if she wants to be with the guy and it's just love and, genuine romance and future building. I mean, she's all serious and willing to be with him, but not wanting to sign where it matters to him, it's a little bit of a red flag.
Of course there's a number. Any man that got married and got divorced understand that there's a number. I had a friend. He got married, been together for 15 years. But he was already rich before they got together. What happened was she got the house, she got the car, she got half the company. There's always a number. There's no real negotiation unless you put paperwork first. Then that's the negotiation. I can come into a relationship with somebody that already got $30 million. I don't need her money. If we got a divorce and she already did a prenup, then that's her money. I don't desire to go after no woman for her money. Of course there's a number. You welcome.
Other than love down the line, just in case, what if it doesn't work out and she could make money? But the dude needs to protect his resources, his finances, and himself if he feels like it.
You really not gonna sign a prenup?
No, I'm not signing no prenup. What you got is what I got.
Okay, but I don't understand, why would you not want to sign? Basically, our love is real.
Your money is my money. Simple as that.
Okay, why are we going straight to the money? It don't have any. All I'm doing is my lawyers are telling me that I have to protect myself, and it's not from you, but it's just
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Everything that you bring in the house, is mine too.
Nah, because I mean, what did you come with? What did you come with that you deserve to think you just don't like? Like, this is for our own protection. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care what you say. It's my money too. Simple as that.
But see, the lawyer said that's what you was gonna do though. They were saying you was not.
No, he didn't.
So what's the point of you not signing the prenup?
The money that you bring home is mine too. Simple as that. End the conversation.
That's crazy. So I guess there ain't gonna be no wedding.
Whatever. It's gonna be a wedding.
Bro needs to run as fast as possible because there won't be a wedding in the first place if she doesn't sign that prenup, it seems, right? So she's definitely making things a little bit harder for herself by the minute.
I've also heard that prenups can get practically thrown out of court. Is that true?
Yeah. So a lot of people's prenup get thrown out in court because you either had them sign it under duress, which happens the most.
What does that mean though?
Under duress means under pressure. So like the wedding's today, here's the paperwork, we ain't getting married. That's duress. Like you can't do it.
But how do they prove that in court if they got married 5, 8, 10, 20 years before that?
Because you signed the date on it. And you know what the date of the marriage is.
Okay.
And so those sorts of things get you thrown out. But the biggest reason that that prenups get thrown out is because you didn't disclose all your assets.
Really?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that.
It's so easy to especially if you're trying to move assets into other entities and that sort of thing. So so that's why I tell people, get your affairs in order before you get engaged. Because if you do that, you don't have to disclose. It's just no longer on the table. But if you have assets in your name, you get engaged and you're in contemplation of marriage, you now have to disclose what you have before you can move it into a trust, or it will be like you're hiding the assets.
Really? See, I didn't know that.
For all the dudes listening out there, real quick, if you want to have a financially safe and secure life, then you need to put your assets under the name of your parents before you get married. The gaslighting is insane because even though she wants stability and a good relationship, she wants to see the prenup now so that she could throw a tantrum right in time for a wedding. The guy's pretty smart in this situation, to be fair.
Never let a woman domesticate you. You're a modern warlord and you're folding laundry at your own house that you paid for and you call yourself ambitious. Chores aren't neutral, they're positioning devices. And while you're organizing the dishwasher, a better man than you is organizing acquisitions. And while you're wiping counters, that man is successfully wiping his enemies off the map. Buy your wife a robot for all of her little chores. Men with standards don't get house trained. They build systems. They don't volunteer for her obedience drills. If you keep saying yes to her small commands, don't act shocked when your wife leaves you because you became her assistant and she wanted to marry a leader.
I get what he's saying. When one person takes the lead on running the house, it's a massive contribution because it means that their partner gets to come home to a stress-free environment while the other grinds for the money. But either way, though, that mindset itself is very outdated. I mean, we're talking 40, 50, 60 years ago, but you and your partner will just naturally slip into the roles and positions that feels right.
My girlfriend and I were not merged in our finances. And once we got into the house and merged finances, I didn't adjust.
Why are you guys fully merged?
Oh, because we live together.
Not how it works?
We're planning on getting married next year.
Why aren't you guys engaged?
Great question.
All right. So what's your mortgage?
$246,746.
How much did you put down?
We put 3%.
Are you both on the loan?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, geez, that's so fucking risky. That's so risky if a breakup were to come. And no one hopes for a breakup, of course not.
No.
And I don't even think that'll necessarily happen. You guys are planning on getting married, but you never know what can happen.
Well, that and we didn't have a discussion about finances before we merged. And so he was spending the way that she likes to spend, and I was spending the way that I liked to spend.
Oh boy, this situation is like a train just waiting to go off the tracks. They manage their finances together, but still haven't discussed their spending habits. You know, you got to fix it up, man. Seriously. As the host says, if a breakup does come, it's not going to be great.
I'm going to be looking to move out and buy another home with my girlfriend sometime next year.
Don't do that.
Basically wondering, okay.
No, please don't buy a house with somebody you're not. Please don't buy a house with somebody you're not married to.
Okay.
You're going to get yourself up a creek, bud. Seriously, if you want to buy a house with her, you need to marry her first. Because here's the thing: something happens, or she just decides she's going to take off, and you can't find her, and you get to pay the payments. And you can't sell it because you can't find your partner. And in this case, it is a literal partner, not a relational partner. So, no, please don't buy a house with. Now, if you want to buy a house and she lives with you, that's your decision on how you have a roommate. But but the legal and financial entanglements, when people shack up and start buying stuff together and sharing too much stuff, you really get all twisted up, and it's very, very, very difficult to undo.
If you're not willing to marry someone, why on earth would you buy a house with them and lock yourself in the next 15 to 30 years with them? I mean, that's just relationship implosion.
As I've said before, every single marriage ends. It ends in death or divorce. The majority of them end in divorce. Why wouldn't you allow me to have a table that just says, if you'd like to have a prenup, here. I'm not even trying to sell a prenup on you, like you're getting engaged, you need a prenup. It's just, have you talked about a prenup? They would not even let me in the room because it shatters the illusion. It's reality. They don't like reality. They don't see reality as what it is, which I think, by the way, is quite romantic. I think there's something very nice about talking to your partner about, you know what I'm afraid of? Losing you. I don't want to lose you to death, even though I know someday I have to. But I don't want to lose you to divorce either. But man, almost 60% of marriages end in divorce. And if we got divorced, like, what would we be? Like, I hope we wouldn't hate each other. Like, I hope I'd still love you and care about you, or I'd still want you to be well. Even if you left me, I wouldn't hate you. Like, I don't have one ex-girlfriend that I go, man, I hate that person. Like, I wish all of them joy. I hope they're all happy. Like, our chapter together ended, but I wish all of them joy. I think people would prefer to look at the bright side of things and to be optimistic. And I am not suggesting, like, I don't believe in fairy tales. I'm a realist. That doesn't mean I get up every day just thinking about nothing but death and divorce. Life is beautiful and life's meant to be lived. I'm not going to sit at a wedding and be like, do you know how many percentage of this people are going to get divorced? I don't view it that way. I think it's wonderful. But be realistic about things. Like, I don't want to get ill, but I have a physical every year. I go to the doctor every year. Like, I like to know what's going on. I like to be a realist. I don't plan on crashing my car, but I like knowing that I have a seatbelt and an airbag. If you told me, by the way, Jim, your seatbelt and your airbag aren't working, I would drive very, very, very carefully, right? So I think it's the same thing. Like, just, we can't have an honest conversation and be optimistic.
I think marriage without a prenup is like any other bad insurance that you sign up for. It's not absolutely needed, but in a lot of cases, why not? Especially if the guy has a massive like empire that he's built or something like that. Marriage is a legal contract between two individuals, plus their assets and associates.
So you're saying you don't have an income now?
Correct. And Dave moved to Tennessee. I think that's pretty major too. He bought a house in Tennessee.
That's not what his pleading says.
Excuse me?
Where does Mr. Reynolds live? He lives in, according to his response, he lives here in Grand Rapids.
When I requested this entire child support review, he bought a house in Tennessee and he still owns that house in Tennessee.
He can own a house in Tennessee, but if he's living here in Grand Rapids, that's not a change.
Well,
my only question here is, since I need to know what his income changed because the job changed. So what information I need is this. I need information from his current contract. And if it is the same income, we do not have a change of circumstance and we're stuck with the 36 months by law. That's my explanation, Ms. Lemon. That's why I tried to explain this. I'm like, I don't have the requisite change of circumstance to review child support at this time. You signed a contract in June of 2022. Essentially,
based on the information that David Reynolds was going to be, I was forced to sign that, claiming that that was the only way I could see my kids.
Unfortunately, but there was a lot to that agreement. They waived arrearages.
Including the fact that I would be able to see my kids, because otherwise I would not be able.
And you are seeing your children, correct? You are seeing your child. Yeah. Okay. Then
only because I agreed to sign that.
You got the benefit of the bargain, and that's my problem. I don't have the requisite legal change of circumstance to review this unless his income increased. If his income increased, I will review this. So what I need is I'm going to reserve on that because I want that information. Once I get it, I'll issue an opinion as to whether there's a change of circumstance or not. Mr.
And so he does not have the kid. He does not have her 50-50. And nowhere in my pleadings did I say it's about a 2-day difference. Okay. That was a benefit that I was giving him to try to resolve things outside of court.
But again, her pleading says 2 overnights. That's
I don't know. That's what her pleading
said. It does not. Where does the pleading say that he only has 2 additional overnights? Please tell me where the pleadings say he only has 2 overnights.
I will look it up right now.
That's what I'm looking up too, because I know that I read it in your pleading.
My request was for the child support to be based on 2 different overnights, but that was because of a conversation I had with Dave, which he claimed he would be willing to do if I would swap.
Minor daughter Callie spends a minimum of 184 overnights with the plaintiff. That's what it says.
A minimum.
That's what your number 3 is. That's where I got the numbers from.
A minimum. That is not saying there's only a 2-day difference.
And I think you have a typo. Yeah, I think you have a typo. You probably meant defendant, but oh no,
no,
you
I
are
didn't.
the plaintiff.
No, I didn't. I meant the plaintiff. I am the plaintiff.
You said 184 overnights.
Either one, your allegation number 3 indicates you guys have almost the same parenting time that was ordered in the previous order.
No,
that's your own allegation.
That's your own say that we
number
have the
3.
Same
minor
time.
Daughter Kaliana Reynolds spends a minimum of 184 overnights with the plaintiff.
But yeah, that does not say that's a equal split by any stretch of the imagination. Nowhere there does it say that Dave then has 180
yes, it does.
Well, she has no idea how many days there are in a year, and as for the guy, I'm pretty sure he's stoked that he's not married to her anymore.
Well, you're getting that back though.
Yes.
Left and right. Let's not talk about how much we made. People mad about it, but our bank account is getting bigger and bigger. You mean she's saying we're getting to that bag, she is using you and you will take everything soon, but don't you see we're doing this together? So what do you mean? It's us making the bag, not just him. It's 2 of us doing this shit, so...
It's a team effort.
His money is my money, so... yeah.
The money that we earn together is your money, absolutely.
Exactly, thank you.
You can see the light leave his eyes because he's probably realized that he's spent so much time with someone who's in it for more than just his love, which, by the way, is a crazy realization to have in today's days.
I do believe that money was the ruin of our relationship.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like it just... Because I always said to him, like, I could go back to having nothing. Easy.
And he couldn't.
And
have each other.
He couldn't, yeah. Like, he couldn't get... Like, before we announced that it was over, he moved out for a week prior to that. My financial situation wasn't great, so I'm like, oh, I need to try and sort my finances out. So it all sort of... We got back together again. But he went to a flat. He took his PlayStation... So he didn't think, how shall I work on this marriage? Like, I've moved out. He took his PlayStation.
Get some Fortnite in.
He wrote down all the bills and how he could keep his car.
Oh, it's priorities, isn't
his
it?
His car was like priority in all of this.
Not how can I save my marriage?
No, it was like, how do I keep my car?
Eye-opening though.
Yeah.
She also has the entire house, TV, etc. But as a man, he isn't allowed a single thing, maybe in her eyes. I'm not sure, right? You know, he was meant to sit in the flat staring at a wall, you know. I don't know, I guess the double standards maybe.
This comes from Leatheryoli6981, who says, I, 30 male, am divorcing my wife, 30 female, of 4 years because she did not help me financially when I needed it. I work in a very niche industry. Niche industry.
Dude, niche industry is such a throwback.
And last year or so has been really difficult due to market conditions. Many of my colleagues got laid off, and so was I. At the time, I had newly refurnished our home, so I was in debt. My wife also works, but earned less than me back then. I went to her and asked if she could help me while I searched for work. I proposed that we should sell some of the gold that was given to us at the wedding. We live in Turkey, and there's a tradition of giving gold to newlyweds to help them financially. Dope tradition. That's fire.
Gold.
New donation bar. Gold bars.
Yeah, gold bars.
These are meant to be used during difficult times. The gold is. She rejected the idea and said, I do not want to sell my golds. I tried to reason with her by saying closing the debt would greatly help us to be more stable financially. She refused and told me to sort it out myself somehow. I asked her to at least use some of her savings and I can pay it back. Context here is that I let her save most of her earnings while paying for most of the things myself due to women being vulnerable to financial changes more than men are here. I wanted her to build her own savings and made sure to help her with the retirement account as well. I asked her to give some of her savings for debt and I can pay her back once I sort myself out. She refused that too.
It's interesting to me that he takes credit for her money, but also he's refurbished a home that was not in her name and wants her to pay for it. Pretty absurd, really, genuinely. But that's it for the video. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay strong.